Hey guys, what is up and welcome back to my channel. If you happen to be new here, my name is Jess. As you guys can tell from the title of today's video, I wanted to film something a little bit different. I don't know if you guys can tell right there on my shelves, I do have a bit of free space because I did recently purge a bunch of stuff from my shelves that I wasn't going to read, had already read and didn't have any interest in rereading and wanted to pass them along, things like that. There will be an unhaul coming later on to my channel, probably next week. But today I wanted to sit down and film, as you guys can tell from the title of this video, a my favorite authors pick my book haul video. I am fortunate enough to be able to exchange dialogue with a couple of my favorite authors. The two authors in question, I will leave all of their social medias down below, but it is Nicholas Eames and Alex White. These are two up-and-coming authors, or at least new to me authors that I have recently discovered that I've absolutely fallen in love with. But essentially what this is I wanted to go to my favorite authors whose writing style I really love, author whose books I really love, you know, things like that, and see what books they would recommend, what books they read recently that they really loved. A few of these I do have a lot of information on because the author who recommended them to me did have a lot to say about them, but I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I didn't splurge too much. I did only purchase 5 books. I imagine we could have just kept going and going with books that they really loved, but I'm really excited to talk to you guys about these books, and I did pick them up at Barnes & Noble. That was another goal of mine in doing this video, was to pick them up at an actual bookstore. And unfortunately, the Barnes & Nobles near me are going out of business. So I did want to try to support them as best I could. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started and talk to you guys all about the books that my favorite authors have recommended to me recently. So the first one I'm going to start with is actually one that Nicholas recommended to me. And this is a book that he highly spoke of, and he said it is what got him into writing. This author is what got him into writing, and he thinks that I would really love it. And that book would be Tigana by Guy Gavriel Kay. I have heard a lot about this author. I did not actually realize that he had been writing since the 80s. My husband and I actually found that out when we were trying to purchase this book. This book was actually really hard to actually find in store for some reason. It was almost impossible. I could not find it anywhere. I did actually end up having to order it. So essentially what this book actually follows is it follows the people of Tigana, and they are ruled by a king who actually is a sorcerer and uses a lot of black magic to essentially repress them. And they are not able to use magic. They are not able to speak of the lands they once lived in, you know, how great and wonderful Tigana used to actually be. And later on in the book, I'm assuming from what I have read, the little bit that I have read about this book, some people show up and they actually start to try to take back Tigana. Now, I don't know a whole lot about this other than I believe it's high fantasy, because I don't know if you can tell, this is a paperback book and I believe it's almost 700 pages long. So it's quite hefty and I'm really excited to read this. This is also a standalone, which is another reason why I'm really excited to read it. I am all about large fantasy standalones. So this is definitely a good pick for me, and I'm really glad that Nicholas did actually recommend this. I'm going to link all of these books down below on Goodreads because this is a book haul that were books recommended to me, so I do know a little bit about them, but I don't know a whole lot about them. And if you want the good like synopsis of each book, I will link each Goodreads review, or not review, but each Goodreads page down below for the books. So the next book I have here is actually one of Alex's picks, and I'm really excited to read this. I do believe that this is part of a series. This is #1 in the Wounded Kingdom. And of course, this is by Orbit Books, which I don't know if you guys knew is my absolute favorite publisher ever. Both of these authors actually write with Orbit, which I think is really funny. But this is called The Age of Assassins by R.J. Barker. And essentially what this follows, the main character's name is Girton Clubfoot, but he is an assassin's apprentice. And essentially he's learning to, you know, kill and do all the shady things that assassins do. But the reason why this story is a little bit different is instead of actually being hired to kill somebody, he's hired to protect somebody. And that somebody is somebody very important to the throne as well. I'm really excited to read this. I adore assassin stories. I don't know what it is. I didn't know that it was something that I really love, but more so recently, the more I read about them, the more I realize it's something that I really enjoy. So I am really excited to read this one. And like I said, I will leave the Goodreads link down below if you guys want to read a little bit more on what it is about. So this book I'm actually really excited to read. This is the next book that I have for you guys. It's called Jade City by Fonda Lee. This is a book that Nicholas actually recommended to me. And the reason why I'm really excited to read this one is it has a lot to do with family and honor. Like, as you can see, it literally says on the front, family is duty, magic is power, honor is everything. And that sounds like something I'm really, for some reason, in the mood to read recently. So when you recommended this one and I kind of saw what it was about, I did want to pick it up. It does seem to have a little bit of Asian influence as well. So I'm going to go ahead and just read the back for you guys. It says, for centuries, honorable greenbone warriors have used magical jade to enhance their abilities and defend the island of Kikon from foreign invasion. That sounds really cool to me. So it has a little bit of magic in it, which is, once again, really important to me. Now the war is over and a new generation vies for control of Kikon's bustling capital city. 4 siblings of the powerful Kaul family must prepare for battle, and the fragile peace between the clans is about to break. This is also nominated for the 2017 Nebula Award for Best Novel. The second one is also out, I believe, already, or is coming out soon. This just sounds really cool to me. It has magic, it has warring clans. I mean, it has a lot of like power struggle. I do like a lot of books with political intrigue as well. So this does sound like something that I'm really going to like. And like I said, the second one is either out or about to be out, and I need to read it. And I've never read anything by Fonda Lee either, but it just, I don't know, the book just sounds like something I'm really, really going to love. So this next book was pitched to me as Space Pirates, Buried Treasure, Phantom Weapons, and Unspeakable Hazards and Single-Minded Heroism and of Vengeance. Now, this is a book that Alex actually recommended to me, but it is Revenger by Alistair Reynolds. This is a, I don't know, for me, it kind of is a little bit reminiscent of A Big Ship at the Edge of the Universe, which is totally fine for me. It is a lot of scavenging. It is about a crew that goes to scavenge things, and they do have this uncanny ability to find out where their next score is. That's all I know about this book because I'm trying not to be spoiled about it because, like I said, it is reminiscent of a few other things that I've read recently. But the fact that this book does kind of, you know, center around vengeance, around revenge, it does sound like something that I'm going to like a lot more than I was expecting because it seems like it's going to be very brutal and very dark. On the back of it, it says, a swashbuckling thriller, Pirates of the Caribbean meets Firefly. So if you are a fan of either of those, maybe you'll really like this book. I am a fan of Firefly. You guys know I absolutely love Firefly. So like a scavenging crew is something that I'm really on about all the time anyway. And this does sound like it's a little bit more like space pirates as well, as opposed to just like normal, you know, Firefly stuff that I was expecting. So I'm really excited to read this, and it's absolutely giant, and it's like one of those big floppy paperbacks. It's not too big, it's a little over 300 pages, so we'll see, but I can't wait to read this one either. So the next book I have here is actually the book that I am the most excited to read, and this was a recommendation from Nicholas, obviously. But it is called The Traitor Baru Cormorant, and it is by Seth Dickinson. This was actually also featured on NPR, which sounds really cool for me. I am going to read the back of this book because I'm going to be really honest with you. This seems like a book that may be slightly confusing for me, but I'm going to try to read it anyway because I am really excited to read it. But it says, tomorrow on the beach, Baru Cormorant will look up from the sand of her home and see red sails on the horizon. The Empire Mask is coming, armed with coins and ink, doctrine and compass, soap and lies. They will conquer Baru's island, rewrite her culture, criminalize her customs, and dispose of one of her fathers. But Baru is patient, so she'll swallow her hate, prove her talent, and join the masquerade. Masquerade is capitalized, by the way. She will learn the secrets of the Empire, she'll be exactly what they need, and she'll claw her way high enough up the rungs of power to set her people free. In a final test of her loyalty, the Masquerade will send Baru to bring order to distant Arduin, a snake pit of rebels, informants, and dukes. Arduin kills everyone who tries to rule it to survive. Baru will need to untangle this land's intricate web of treachery and conceal her attraction to the dangerously fascinating Duchess Tyne Hu. But Baru is a savant in games of power, as ruthless in her tactics as she is fixated on her goals. In the calculus of her schemes, all ledgers must be balanced and the price of liberation paid in full. So this does sound like, once again, a political kind of book, and like I said, I do really enjoy those. I do also like the fact that this is about her people being suppressed and her coming back in like a very secretive kind of way to take back power for her people. And I'm really excited for that. Also, it sounds like there's a crap ton of representation. The fact that they said she had 2 fathers, one of which was taken, and the fact that she is actually attracted to another, I'm assuming is a female character in this book. It just sounds like it's going to have a lot of representation in it as well. Obviously, I have not read it. I don't know if that's it or not. Once again, I will leave the Goodreads link down below if you guys want to check it out. But I'm really excited to read this. I could be completely wrong about a lot of these books. I could hate some of them. I could love the ones that I think I'm not going to love the most, but this is the one that I'm absolutely the most excited to read about. And it just sounds, once again, really cool, like that secretive, infiltrative, kind of like political book. And I know that's not everyone's favorite, but that is one of my favorite genres. So I'm really excited to read this one as well. Alright guys, so that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, since I don't know a whole lot about any of these books, and I tend to like to go into books a little bit blind when I do read them, I'm going to leave all of the Goodreads descriptions down below so you guys can go ahead and check them out, see if it's something that you guys would like to add to your TBR, as well as I'm going to leave Nick and Alex's social media information and their books down below as well, because you should absolutely read them. I would definitely say that A Big Ship at the Edge of the Universe and Kings of the Wild are two of my top favorite books that I've read this year. Absolutely, hands down, and you guys should definitely read them, and you should definitely try to connect with these authors because they are amazing. But yeah, that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Keep an eye out for an unhaul later this week. If you do want to see the unhaul, please thumbs up this video so I know to go ahead and film that. But yeah, that is it for this video. I hope you guys are having a good week, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!